Okay, this is a very random video. I was not planning to make this video, but I just really need to talk about this. I just watched Kalel's video about her opening up about veganism and talking about how the vegan community should be more honest. She talks about how a lot of the vegan community is just very strict. It's a very good video. The video just really triggered a lot of feelings, and I just need to talk about it because I think it's important. I really think it's important. If my face gets super sweaty, that's because it's very hot in here. Don't mind the sweat. The vegan community is kind of known across the universe as being very judgmental. Not just towards outsiders, people who eat meat and consume animal products, but also towards other vegan people. Like, vegan people are just so rude sometimes. Like, sometimes I kind of don't want to be associated with the community because people tend to be, and I'm not saying it's everybody, but a lot of people are just so intense. And it's why people don't like us. A lot of the time we're very confrontational people, and like I get it, because like we are sort of a minority and we want to prove ourselves, I suppose, and we want to prove that our way is the best way to live. And I think because we get a lot of backlash from people who do consume animal products, we sort of go in even harder. And I think that's how the community kind of grew into this thing that we have now, where a lot of vegans are just very judgmental, I guess. What I want to talk about today is mostly the amount of judgment within the vegan community. Like Kalel said, a lot of vegan influencers, I guess, or even just vegan people, you know, in life, a lot of us try to project this perfect vegan life to the people around us. Like, I'll bake something that's vegan, so I'll post a picture of it on Instagram because I'm like, hey, look, me doing something vegan, kind of thing. I don't know why I picked that as a thing, but like, you know, like we tend to want to project this life to all the other people, like, hey, look at me, I'm being vegan and I'm living my life and it's great. And it totally makes sense that we do this because obviously we want other people to see that being vegan is not that hard, it's fun, it's easy, and you can do it too. And I think that's why we do it mostly. But then from that, a kind of perfectionism has grown that is just not good for the community, I think. And don't get me wrong, I think it's great if someone can be 100% vegan. Like, that is goals, honestly. Like, that's great. I love that. But what I don't like is then to condemn other people for not being 100% vegan because of whatever reason. It's to the point where, you know, most vegan people don't dare to talk about things like this. And that's why I'm so glad that Kalel made this video, because it needs to talk about. I'm pretty sure most vegans, there must be like something, you know, a time when they have consumed some type of animal product, or there's like that one thing they can't let go of. Like, I'm sure so many of us have those things, and it's like, why do we try to hide these things, and why do we not talk about these things? Why do we only want to project this perfect vision of everything's vegan and everything's good? Like, you know, because it's just not healthy for the community, because first of all, it's created this atmosphere of judgment where if someone is doing something that's like in a way not vegan, they get condemned for it, or they feel like they have to hide it from everybody because, oh no, what if someone notices that I'm not being 100% vegan? And also I think it's created this sort of superiority complex. I don't know if that's the right idea. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like that basic idea that probably most non-vegan people have of vegan people. You know, like the vegan person who's like, I'm vegan and I'm better than other people because I don't consume animal products. That's probably how non-vegans see us. And I understand why, because like some people truly are like that, and it's so frustrating because they kind of portray this idea of like, I don't consume any animal products and that makes me a better person than you. And it's not like that kind of attitude is why most people are against vegan people. That's the attitude that has created this big barrier between vegans and non-vegans. And it's polarizing us completely. And even within the vegan community, it's like separating us. And it's just so heartbreaking to see, because in all honesty, what everybody wants is, you know, to live healthy and to be good to the environment. Like most people want that stuff. But I think that the vegan community, it's just grown to be like, you know, people just don't want to be associated as vegans sometimes. And this is also why I think so many of my friends are like, I love animals, but I could never be vegan because that's so extreme. I think this comes from that, you know, perfectionist, extreme views that some vegan people have. Like, if you're not 100% vegan, you're terrible. And I think that's why it's hard for non-vegans to make that step, because they're intimidated by these, you know, extreme vegans. I feel like that sounds really rude. Like, I don't want to call anybody like an extreme evil vegan, because like I love vegan people, you know what I mean? Like, nothing like that. But I'm just saying that some people's attitude is making things hard within our community and outside our community. I don't think this video is very cohesive because I have no notes. I'm just rambling. I really hope this makes sense. But like, yeah, I have so many friends who tell me they love animals, and like they'll tell me like, oh, they're trying to cut back on the meat. And I do have times where I think like, well, that's great, but that's not a lot. But I don't think that's the attitude I should have. I think if someone tells me they've been trying to cut back on meat, what I should be doing is, good, that is great, please keep going. Like, that is such a good step forward. Any step forward is a step forward, and we should be celebrating all of that. And with a positive attitude like that, that's the way to encourage people to go cruelty-free. Not by condemning people. Like, I get that the extreme measures sometimes need to be taken, like in some cases, but in general, I think we should all be a little bit more open, truthful, and accepting and supportive and just positive, because I think there's way too much judging going on. Because like, okay, I'm gonna talk about myself for a little bit. At this point in my life, I don't dare to call myself vegan anymore. I was born and raised in Belgium, and the last few years that I lived in Belgium, I went vegan, and I was vegan. I would be like a pretty darn good vegan. Since 2 years ago, I've moved to Osaka, Japan, and that has changed everything for me. Being vegan in Osaka is insanely difficult. Like, the difference between Belgium and Osaka is huge. Like, it's insane. In Belgium, when you go to the supermarket, you have a vegan section, you know, a vegetarian vegan section. Here, I have nothing. Like, even the bread here is not vegan. I have yet to find vegan bread in this country. It's so frustrating. Also, I would go to dinner parties with like my boss, and like I tell people that I don't eat meat and fish, and like I try to explain it to them, but like they barely know what vegetarian means, you know? And like, I'm with my boss, so I can't just not eat anything. I can't be 100% vegan here. I can't, unless I quit my job or something. You know, I used to beat myself up about it so much because I was like, I said I was vegan, and now, like, you know, I'm eating a piece of toast that like has whatever it is, milk or something in it. It ate me up inside. I felt so bad about it, and I was scared of getting judged. Not only by vegan people, but also by like my meat eating friends in Belgium. I was scared that they were gonna see like, oh, she said she was vegan, but now she's eating something that's not vegan again, ha ha ha. I was really, I felt so bad about it. It was like a whole year of me feeling really bad about it, and then the new year started, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna not care anymore. And I don't mean that like I'm not gonna care about being vegan anymore. Like, I still try to be as vegan as I can, obviously, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it if I end up eating something that's not vegan. I just wouldn't be able to live here. And so I've been a lot nicer to myself about it, and I've realized that we should all be a little nicer to ourselves. I think the most important thing is for us to try our best. That's it. Just do your best and do what you can to make the world a better place. I think that's what it comes down to, and I think we should just support each other in what we are doing. And any bit helps, and instead of having such a negative, judgmental outlook on things, I think we should just be more positive and support each other. I don't usually make like confrontational videos like this. I hate confrontation. This is why I could never do this in person, ever. Talking to a camera, I can do it, but like, oh. And I'm sweating. So yeah, to sum up, I think we should all be a little kinder to each other, both within the vegan community as outside it. I think if we were less judgmental, the results would be vegan people would feel a lot more supported and accepted and less scared to be truthful, and non-vegan people would feel less attacked by vegans all the time and would therefore feel like it would be a lot easier to become vegan themselves. I think this is such an important topic, and I want this discussion to keep going, so yeah, I just thought I would make this video very impulsively. Yeah, because I don't really talk about me being vegan a lot, just because like I'm scared to talk about it, because in Japan I'm not 100% vegan at all. Sometimes I don't even say I'm vegan anymore, because I don't know, like I am not even in the 90% range anymore in this country. I'm just not. You know, I do a lot to try, like I make my own bread, I make my own spreads to put on bread. You know, like I do a lot to try to be as vegan as I possibly can, but it's just not it's just not a thing here, and it's very hard. And so I want people to not judge me for it, you know, and I don't want people to take away my animal activist card for this. You know, the way people do it is, it's all different. Some people can quit cold turkey, some people want to hang on to some stuff and then slowly work their way towards it, and I think that's all fine. Like, any bit helps. Anyways, I gotta go before I actually melt. This has been a very random video, but nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did find it interesting, feel free to leave something in the comments about what you thought, because I'm very interested in what other people have to say about this. And yeah, other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!